In the previous video, we implemented the zero investment innovative idea of concept explanation by conducting an inquiry-based activity through which our students learnt more about the concept of symmetry. Now, as discussed, let's continue with the discussion to introduce them to the concept of asymmetry. Begin by asking the students to name some two-dimensional symmetrical shapes that can be observed in our surroundings. Some of the possible responses would be square, rectangle, triangle, and so on. Now, ask them to name a few shapes that do not form mirror halves when cut along the middle. Allow the students to respond. As the students think about the shapes and respond to our questions, it will aid in enhancing their creative thinking and critical thinking abilities. Once the students have responded, inform them that the shapes that are not symmetrical are known as asymmetrical shapes. We will then conclude by stating that on the basis of symmetry, we can easily differentiate between the shapes of our surroundings. Also, inform the students that in our next period, we will be exploring the rotations of some two-dimensional shapes. Now, before we end this first period, let's give our students some interesting homework activity that will enable them to revise all the concepts that we have covered thus far. Inform the students that they will need to classify some shapes on the basis of symmetry. For the activity, the students will have to draw some shapes such as a square, a star, a triangle, a jigsaw puzzle piece, and a circle on a used piece of cardboard that they can find at their homes. Inform the students that once they have drawn the shapes, they will need to cut the shapes out and divide each shape into half. After that, they will have to check if each of the shapes are divided into mirror halves. Then, based on their observation, they will need to classify each shape as symmetrical or asymmetrical. Now that we have led the students to intuitively explore the reflections of two-dimensional shapes, in our next video, we will be introducing them to the concept of rotations. Stay tuned.